What's going on, everybody? This is Joe.
And Amy.
And we are back. We did not think we were going to do this, but as you can see, we already have 2 wins in it. This is Pauper. This is a constructed format, which is something that I wouldn't typically decide to play on a digital platform like Arena or Magic the Gathering Online. I collect paper Magic, and I don't see the need to force myself to try to collect digitally as well, especially because I don't collect in paper to make constructed decks. So when these kind of opportunities come up, I'm like, I don't really know if it's worth my money, if it's worth my time. You know, there are a lot of other things that we do on this channel, that we do in our lives, that it's not usually worth my time. But for the hell of it, I was like, let's see, based on what we have, if we can make up a deck. And I made up this random green deck, and I've won 2 in a row. And so Amy correctly was like, why aren't you recording this? And I was like, because I'm just messing around. But we won 2 in a row. Now, of course, now that we're filming, I'm sure, I'll lose the next 5 and feel like we lost, wasted our time. But
don't say that yet.
But the other thing is, we really did just use whatever we had. And I'm not going to use any wild cards on Pauper. That's no offense to Pauper as a format or to Pauper players. I respect Pauper for what it is. I'm not a Pauper player myself. I'm not a constructed player myself. So I'm not going to use these wild cards unless something comes up that's going to necessitate me doing that. For now, I'm just doing this for fun. And more importantly, the thing that we kind of started doing with these videos is I, as a more experienced Magic player, wanted to bring Amy in as somebody who was not necessarily as experienced and let her experience MTG Arena from the ground up. So this is an opportunity. We've now done Momir, and what did you think of Momir?
Momir was great. I definitely... I loved that I was able to follow a lot of what was going on because I was able to sit here and contribute. Which I'm usually not necessarily able to do.
Right.
I can sit here and throw my 2 cents in by, giving a snide remark or talking about descriptions of what the cards look like and things like that. But I can't really do much in terms of saying, well, this is what we should do as a strategy, or I think we should pick this card for our deck. Because I'm not good at that. I don't know enough about Magic. But Momir I was able to follow pretty well because it was simple.
Okay.
So now you're saying it makes sense for us to use a green deck to kind of usher me in a bit to a regular game of Magic.
Correct.
Although it is Pauper, so it's not exactly the way it would go.
Correct.
Because there would be more powerful things or more... Assuming that more powerful cards are more expensive cards, which they're not always, certainly not. But,
yeah.
There would be more powerful things and probably a slightly different way of playing if it weren't Pauper then.
Right. And besides, there's this awesome art, and I know you love this. And that is not...
Oh, my gosh.
It's really cool looking. The No Escape art in... stained glass form. And that is, please don't misunderstand my statement. That is not to diminish your interest in this and or your input, because that's extremely important. And I threw this green deck together. Now, one thing that I decided I wanted to do if we're going to be doing something constructed is we've got 3 random packs here. So I want to open them because if we get something big in green or small in green that would be useful for us, I would like to have the opportunity to have that. So it obviously has to be one of the commons if we're going to use it in this particular deck. But also, we're just opening 3 packs. We can see what kind of cool stuff we get. So let's see what we get in our first pack. We opened something big in green in the
Yay.
Primordial Worm. That's good.
I love him too. He's so adorable. Look at him.
His facial expression is so stupid.
No, it's not stupid. He's excited.
To eat those last step zombies?
Yeah, wouldn't you be?
Wouldn't I be excited to eat zombies?
Yeah.
Coated in stone?
Yeah.
No.
Like, if you were able to eat them, wouldn't it be so exciting if you could just go in and just murder this army of Eternals?
I'm sorry, this is not relatable for me. I apologize. We also have Nahiri Stoneblades, which I'm sure Amy is happy about. It's not an amazing card, but Amy loves Nahiri, so Chandra's Pyrohelix is a great card. I'm not a huge fan of Toll of the Invasion, but I've had people use it on me.
Incredible art, though. My
yes,
God,
very, very
look at
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And then Bolt Bend is a fine card. It changed the target of a spell. I haven't actually used it, so maybe I take back the fact that it's a fine spell. It's 4 mana. Kaya, though, is definitely a fine spell. Really, really good card. And our rare or mythic is...
My presence alone will guide you towards victory.
Yeah, he spoke to us, too. Ugin is great. He's very good in Limited. Like, opening him in Limited feels really good. I don't know about Constructed, but obviously it doesn't matter for a Pauper, which is what we're talking about here. And we got a common wild card, which, again, I'm not going to use for Pauper. And again, no offense to Pauper. It's just, I don't know where this account is going to take us, so I'd rather not use them up on these kind of one-off, one-week events with... cosmetic rewards. We will see what else we can do with them in the future. So, okay. So we got in green we got an Arlen's Wolf, which is not a bad card, but I don't know if it goes in the deck necessarily. And a Centaur Nurturer, which is not bad. It's a 2/4 for 4. When it enters, we gain 3, and we can add 1 of any color by tapping it, which is good. Turret Ogre, Crush Descent, and Teo's Light Shield are fine. Ral's Outburst is a very good card. Deal 3 damage to any target for 4, and then you look at the top 2 cards of your library. 1 goes into your hand, the other goes into your graveyard.
Okay.
So it's card advantage, and it's burn of some kind. So, again, in this format, that means a planeswalker, a player, a creature, any of those would be viable targets. Devouring Hellion, I'm not a huge fan of. I just don't see a ton of sacrificing creature decks in this format, at least in Limited, because that's where my knowledge lies. And our rare or mythic. Ooh, it's a mythic rare wild card, so we can redeem this wild card. If people are unaware of what wild cards are, I apologize, I didn't technically explain that. You can redeem a wild card for any card of the rarity that wild card is. So, for example, this is a mythic. You can redeem this wild card for any mythic rare card by adding the desired card to your deck. And then we got the common one earlier, which does that for only common cards. And the same for uncommons and rares. No surprise there. Okay. Ooh, and we got an uncommon wild card as well. So, in green, Band Together is a very good card. 2 and a green for an instant, up to 2 target creatures you control. Each deal damage equal to their power to another target creature. So you can have 2 creatures, even smaller ones, team up to kill something big. Yeah. And if you notice, that bigger creature does not deal damage equal to its power to your 2 creatures in return. So
Battle Bondy.
Yes. Yeah, and it's a really nice way to turn the tides. Because you can, again, have your guys band together to kill something bigger. Martyr for the Cause is cool. Goblin Assailant is Burning Prophet is amazing. Awesome art, great card. And Sarkhan's Catharsis definitely gets you there. Davriel is one of my favorite of the uncommon planeswalkers. I think he's great. Along with Ob Nixilis, although they don't work super well together. Sunblade Angel is fine. It's 6 mana, but you get a 3/3 keyword soup. And... our rare is a rare wild card. So there you go. We got 2 wild cards.
I really want you to use those wild cards.
I guess so. Too bad. So now we go back to the Pauper event. Let's see if we can change up the deck a bit. Oh, not submit deck. Edit deck. So here is the deck for those of you that are interested. Our top end is 2 Wrecking Beasts, a Scuttle Gator, and like a Vigor Spore Worm. We've got Rampaging Rendhorn and Mammoth Spider at 5. I might take out the Mammoth Spider to put in... why are all these lit up? To put in the Primordial Worm that we just opened. Because it's a 7/6 for 6, and it's a good card. We also got the Band Together for 3, which is here. I would like to put this in the deck. We only have 1 of them now, but it's still good. I think we might be able to take out... let's take out one of the Gifts of Strength, one of the pump cards for the Band Together, because we already have 4 Titanic Growths for +4/+4, and Gift of Strength is the same amount of mana, but it's only +3/+3. So, let's do that. That's the deck. We have our Scuttle Gator as our kind of man at the front here, or gal at the front. I don't know. It's a turtle. and it's awesome.
And it's a gator.
Yes, and it's a crab, I believe, as well.
Oh.
That's what its legs are like crab legs. Its head is a gator, and its body is a turtle shell. So let's see how we do. Like I said, Sturl the Pearl versus us as Gideon. Let's see what we can get. Well, it's mono green deck, so we've got 3 lands, we've got a Centaur Courser, we've got a Band Together, and 2 Gifts of Strength. I don't love this hand, to be honest with you, but I am gonna... I'm gonna try to mulligan this one. I'd love some more creatures. Yeah, that's much better. Keep the 6. Because Llanowar... Okay, Sorrowform Hybrid on top is great. So Llanowar Elves is a low-drop creature that we can tap to add mana, so it gets us faster to our 2 6-drops.
Okay, good.
They play a 1/1 for 1 with lifelink, which is somewhat problematic, because it flies. But, yeah, we have this all fancy Llanowar Elves. I apologize, sometimes that makes people nauseous. I will not do that on purpose much longer. That is fine. We can... Imperious Oligarch is a good card. Another Llanowar Elves. That seems good. We can actually do both. Llanowar Elves and a Sorrowform Hybrid. Once we get to 6, obviously we'll be playing this or this, but probably the Primordial Worm first. And then we can later adapt Sorrowform Hybrid, I am not blocking, to make this a 6/6 creature as well.
Cool.
Yes, so that's why I don't mind taking this damage early. They're trying to get in the air. I'm not going to be, like, these are going to be blocking eventually, but I'd rather get my big stuff in so that they have to chump block, so that their little pingers for 1 damage aren't a huge deal for me anymore. I'm going to play this land. I'm going to... We have 5, so next turn, if we draw a land, we will have 6 mana. We really would love a land, but for now we have this Jungleborn Pioneer, which gives us another 1/1 creature. And for now, no attacks yet. Because I don't want this to die, and if these die, then we definitely don't have these, so that's bad.
I do remember this hybrid being good for us during the stream that we did.
Which one?
Correct?
Oh, the Sorrowform Hybrid. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm blocking here because it's 2 damage versus 1 damage, and I'd rather take 1 damage. It will be from a flyer that I will not be able to block later. I understand that, but it's worth it, in my opinion. It deals 1 damage to them, and they draw a card. I mean, with all the life they've gained, that's not a huge deal. They're still at 22.
Yeah.
And that's a fine card. It's a 3/2. Not insane. I would be happy to block the 3/2 with this 2/2, because that is not as important to us. They are searching their library for another land with their Evolving Wilds, and it is another Plains. We drew the Scuttle Gator, so still not a 6th land, which is unfortunate. But... yeah, that's actually going to be it. We're going to have to pass. That sucks. If we had gotten that 6th land, we could have gone off. Right now, we're kind of in a holding pattern. So, that's unfortunate. Okay, they're attacking with everything. That makes sense. I'm going to block here. Like I said, I'm happy to do that. Happy to make that trade. And then we're going to take 4 and go to 9, which is bad. I would love a land. Or a creature that makes mana, although that would be slower. We'd have to wait another turn. Healer's Hawk again. Very good cards. Healer's Hawk is great. I really like Healer's Hawk a lot. That's not technically a land, but it is a 4/3, which very profitably blocks the 2/1 on the ground, for example. And it itself cannot be blocked by more than 1 creature. So right now, everything on their field, nothing on their field, I should say, can block and kill our boar, because it can't be double blocked. And it has 3 toughness. So, and we killed that 3/2 with our 2/2 because we knew that we didn't need it anymore, whereas the Sorrowform Hybrid can be better for us later. They are destroying our 4/3, and they paid 5 life to do it, which is just fine. Just fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we go to 4. I'm going to attempt to allow this to happen. This is probably an issue, but we don't have the land. There is nothing really that we can do about that. We will likely lose this game.
Well, I had the question.
Sure.
You mulliganed that hand, even though the cards that were in that hand were quickly playable. They were lower drop cards.
But there was only 1 creature and then pump spells. We would rather go wider In my opinion, of course.
Well, but you kept the hand where all the creatures that were in it weren't going to be playable until you got enough land.
Well, but we had one Llanowar Elf and 3 lands.
Well,
so that was 4 out of 6. And I figured we'd get the rest eventually, and we got 5 out of 6 instead. Sorry. I will use Band Together on their turn since it is an instant in case they have something else that they play or that they beef up or something. Because right now they are going to attack us for a lot. Yep. Okay, so we are going to have to trade off the Sauroform hybrid here. We'll pass to blockers. We're going to... Ooh, yeah, because if we trade off one of the Llanowar Elves, then we need 2 lands to be able to play these. So for now, we're going to go like this, which sucks. I don't want to do that, but we're going to have to.
But what about the Band Together?
So that's what we're going to do after we click this block button.
Oh.
Then we will be able to band together and use the Sauroform hybrid and the Llanowar Elves, just in case they pump it in some way, to target one of their Healer's Hawks. They'd have to pump it more than +2 for it to live. They exile my Sauroform hybrid. Okay. We take 2, and we go to 2. We did not kill their 2/1 in the process. But now if we have to, Desperation, it can be blocked. We drew a land. Okay. We still lose, though. They have 2 flying. So we will concede this game. Hold on. Let me just make sure. When it enters, target creature gains vigilance and +X/+X. No. And no. So yeah, there's nothing that we can do that would allow us to gain any life or survive these 2 flyers. So we will concede. So, as I said, this is the first loss that we have suffered, and it's because we're recording it. That's just how that works. But let's try again. Did the deck make sense? Is there anything complex? Do you get it?
I mean...
It's literally the first time you've seen it. It is not a shame or something to be ashamed of to say that you don't necessarily, if that was the case.
Well, I was kind of able to, like, follow what was going on, so that's good.
Okay, that is important, yes. So what do you think of the deck?
I don't know.
Okay, okay.
I don't know.
Well, this is a much better hand. So if you notice, 2 lands, a Llanowar Elves for 1. So on turn 2, we will have 3 mana, because we'll have 2 lands and the Llanowar Elves. And we can play a Druid of the Cowl, which also adds mana. So yeah, we're good. We'll have a 3-drop, 3/3. We have 2 1/3s that make mana. This is a very good hand.
Druid of the Cowl?
Yes, it's from
She's not
Kaladesh.
even wearing a cowl.
I guess.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, so we play Llanowar Elves. Oh, they went down to 6. So we play Llanowar Elves on 1, Druid of the Cowl on 2, Centaur Courser on 3, or Druid of the Cowl on 3, maybe? So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it depends on if we draw another land. If we draw another land, then we just run these out on 2 and 3, and then this on 4. They have their own Llanowar Elves. Would you look at that? We did draw a land. So yes, land, Druid of the Cowl, and no attacks. I guess, so here's the thing. I could have attacked first to see if they would have traded off. Presumably they would not have, because as we know, we need the Llanowar Elves just as much as they do. So yeah, they're going to play this tapped Golgari Guildgate, but they could still play something for 2. They play a Saproling Migration. We drew another Druid of the Cowl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we only have 5 right now. But what that means is Druid of the Cowl on 2, Centaur Courser on 3. Because we don't need more than 6. So we could have played the other Druid, but I'd rather get the 3/3 body out so that we can actually attack them profitably next turn.
Yeah.
Presumably, at least.
That I understand.
There's another Llanowar Elves. So now they can make 4 mana this turn. No, sorry, this has Summoning Sickness. They can make 3 more mana this turn. Vicious Offering, sack a creature, and this gets -5/-5. That is fine. It is dead. I would rather they use it on that than this Primordial Worm that we're about to play right now.
Yay!
Okay. We have a 7/6. And actually, it wouldn't have worked on the Primordial Worm. But it is an instant, so they could have, like, blocked this. Destroy target creature. Okay. They could have blocked it, given it -5/-5, and then the 1 damage from the Sapperling would have killed it. Okay. So, we're going to play this land. We are going to play this Bristling Boar, which can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, as we recall. We talked about that earlier. And then, if I go like this, yes, perfect. It taps the Elves first, and the Druid of the Cowl, so we have a 1/3, 2 1/3 blockers back, as well as the 4/3. But if they're following the trend that they have been following... Actually, I can attack with this one. Why not? It's 1 free damage. If they've been following the trend, they may just kill this somehow. And if they can, then at least we have a 1/3 blocker, which prevents these from wanting to attack.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that, like, if they use up all of their, like, kill a random creature cards, then later in the game when we have big stuff, they won't be able to kill them.
That is very astute, and absolutely what you do. You make them have it. We're now both empty-handed, and look what we just drew.
Nice.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just going to pass, because at the end of their turn, we can make this a 6/6. So then on our turn, it's a 6/6 that can attack.
So cool.
And, or if they try to use, like, this on it to kill it. Ooh, they have a 5/5 trample. It resolves. Our 6/6 will be bigger. Has to attackers. I assume they don't attack. But if they... that worm is very loud. And if they attack with their 2/2 zombie, I will happily block with the Sauroform hybrid and make it huge, because they have no cards in hand, they're tapped out, there is literally nothing they can have. Alright, pass to end of combat, and before my turn, 6/6. That is no surprise to anyone. I'm going to leave this land in my hand, and I'm going to see what they do. If they double block my 6/6, I'm more than happy to allow that to happen. Because, again, we're both top decking, and they don't know what's in my hand, so they should be very afraid of it. Okay. Yep, they did double block it. Okay, so the siege... So now we order blockers. We've talked about this before, but you choose the order in which damage is dealt. So the damage is going to get dealt to the siege worm first.
Yeah.
So 5 damage will go to its toughness, and then there will only be 1 damage left over because it's a 6/6, so it will not kill the zombie. But that's why you don't order it the other way, because then the zombie dies first. So... happy to let that happen, and we will end our turn. Again, leaving up this card, scaring them, if possible. This is called bluffing. We're bluffing this forest, because we definitely don't need it. We have access to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana right now. And if we draw something, we can then play this, because it wouldn't be a land anyway. Let's see what we've got.
But they can see that you keep on, like, moving it, like mousing it.
Yes. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, and they get a Sapperling. That is fine. There's nothing I can do to save it, but the Llanowar Elves is dead. That is, in the grand scheme of things, not a huge deal.
Oh, that card is very cute.
Hey, look. 4, 5, 6, 7, and we would need 8. So conveniently, we have this land, and we have this Sauroform hybrid. So now, we can pass our turn, and we'll do the exact same thing we did last time. At the end of their turn, we can make this a 6/6. Or, I guess, at any pertinent point, we can make this a 6/6. Like if they try to kill it by dealing 2 damage to it, or -2/-2 or something, we can make it a 6/6. Okay, so they're sacking a creature. They gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness, which is 1, and they're destroying target creature. So there's no reason for us to make it a 6/6. That would just use up our mana and tap our creatures, which we need as blockers. Titanic Growth is very good. I still think we hold off. We could attack, but it's not like they would just block with a 2/2, and then we'd kill the 2/2. But it's not attacking us because we can double block with 2 of the 1/3s, and the 2 damage wouldn't kill either of the 1/3s, and then the 1/3s would kill the 2/2. So...
okay, I lost you somewhere there.
Sorry. So, they're not attacking with this zombie, despite the fact that it has 2 toughness, and we only have 1 power on each of our creatures.
Okay.
They're making more Sapperlings. That is fine. 4 Sapperlings, to be exact.
Jesus. Why?
Because if they go wide, they might be able to go wide enough where if they attack with everything... Hey, Llanowars. if they
just
attack
kill
with
us?
everything, yeah. And we'd be able to block like 3 things, but then the other like 8 get through and kill us. They'd play to land. Their deck is very similar to ours. Ooh, we have a 3/3. Very cool. Okay. So anyway, we're going back to this. If this did attack, we could block with a single 1/3, which would mean that neither would die. They'd just both kind of bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
Or we could block with 2 1/3s. And then both of our 1/3s would kill this guy.
Yeah.
And they would not be able to do anything about it because they would have 6 toughness in the 2 creatures. We're just going to play this 4/4 for no value because our Sorrowfall hybrids are dead. But we do have a 4/4. And I'm going to try... I probably should have attacked first so that they didn't know that we had the 4/4. But I'm still going to attack for 3 and see if they like double block or triple block with their little guys. And then we can Titanic Growth to let it live. Yep, okay. So, they're blocking with exactly 3.
Yeah.
All 3 of theirs would die, and ours would die if we did nothing else. This is how we're ordering our blockers. They have no cards in their hand, so we're just going to make it a 7/7, save it from dying, and killing all 3 of their creatures in the process. And now they have... Yeah, they said nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're drawing land. Been there.
Okay, so that was for a turn that it becomes that.
Correct. It was until end of turn. Yes. Yeah, the Titanic Growth, +4/+4 until end of turn.
Okay.
Now we have this Vigor Spore Worm. When it enters the battlefield, target creature we control gains vigilance. It doesn't say we control, but we're going to target a creature we control. Gains vigilance and +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures in our graveyard. And Vigor Spore Worm itself can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. We have 6 creatures in our graveyard. So one of our creatures is going to get +6/+6 and vigilance.
Ah. Okay.
So we're going to do that to one of our Druid of the Cowls. Because now we have a 7/9, a 3/3, and a 4/4 that can attack this turn.
Yay.
They do not have many profitable blocks. If they really want, they could like kill our 4/4. They do know that this is only until end of turn. So they can go to 13, chump block, but now they're on the back foot. Because this, they get 2/2 and more 1/1s. That is fine. That's a land. We will keep that in our hand. This can't be blocked by more than 1 thing. So this cannot be killed by a double block. Okay. This can, and this can, but we're okay with that happening because we're putting pressure on them and reducing their resources in their creatures by doing so.
Okay.
So, we choose our attackers in the 3/3, the 6/4, and the 4/4. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Again, I know I'm talking really fast. I want to make sure that you understand what's going on and why it's going on. So they're blocking there. It cannot be blocked by more than 1 creature, even though they're trying to. They tried to block it with the other 2/2, so now they're probably going to take that back and block it with the 1/1 instead. Interesting. Wait. Yep. And they'll block the 2/2 on that. See, so they will double block and kill that. Yeah. Single block and chump there, and then chump there as well. I will, if I have the choice, I guess I'll kill this one first, because black has a lot of effects that get things back from the graveyard.
Right.
So if we put this in the graveyard, they can get it back, replay it, and then they get another sapling. This will not go to their graveyard, and they will not be able to get it back.
Okay.
But that's only if they can pump, because otherwise it's 4 damage and it will kill them both. But those are still considerations, because green pumps things, and they are both of those colors. Okay. So, there you go. We've killed everything but one of their Llanowar elves.
Sweet.
Which notably means next turn we can also attack with our Druid of the Cowls, depending on what they drew. They drew another Yavimaya Sap Herd. So yes, we can still attack with our Druid of the Cowls. We drew another land. We'll play one so they don't think that, they don't think that we're bluffing 2 lands. Now they think that we're bluffing a real card. Or not bluffing, but holding up a real card. So now we can attack here, 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 and here. Because that 1 damage from any of the druids that get through is relevant. because they're at 13. So they're going to start going down very quickly.
Yeah.
They're going to kill the 3/3. That is fine. We're going to, again, order it the same way for the same reason. But the Sapwood is still going to die. And they go to 10.
And now they have nothing on the field.
Correct. And they're top decking. They just drew a card. And they got lucky enough that it was a Sapperling Migration, which gives them 4 1/1s.
Yeah.
But again, they can triple block one of our druids if they want to. Okay. But that's the only thing that they can do. So we can go to combat before we play this. We can go to combat first.
Okay.
Attack with everything but the Llanowar Elves. And see how they block. They block 1 on there. And maybe 3 on 1? Yes. And that is and that is fine. We get to kill 1 of their 3 creatures, but they do not have enough creatures now to kill another one of these next time. Yet. They can presumably play something to do that. But we also have another 2/2 and another 1/1 now.
Woohoo!
That they have to deal with, because we're just going to start attacking them with everything. We drew another Llanowar. So they have 3 1/1 creatures, which means if they spread out blocks and block here, 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 and here, they're still going to take 3 this turn if we attack all out, which is not good enough. So we're going to play our land that we just drew. We're going to attack here, 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 and here. We'll leave our 2 1/1s back for now.
Right.
Later on, those 2 1/1s can attack when, even if they're going to want to block our bigger things, and they're going to die in the process from 1/1s hitting them. But I don't want these 1/1s to die yet. So they're deciding how to block. One of them presumably has to block the 6/4, but that means that they can then double block and kill the 2/2 if they really want. But then they're taking 2 and going to 6. And eventually, this is going to overwhelm them. They need to draw something more impactful. So we will see if they can do that.
They're just drawing a lot of the same stuff over and over.
Well, I mean, and that's constructed. You get a maximum of 4 of any given card, and they're doing a lot of things that make Sapperlings. They are green and black, but
we haven't seen very many black cards from them, though.
All their removal was in black. All their, like, destroy target creature and stuff like that, exile a creature, -5, -5.
So all the things that we didn't really see out on the field, they just came and killed our things and then left.
Correct. And they did double block our 2/2 and killed it.
Okay.
But now, again, their field is empty. They just drew a random card.
And they're at 6.
They are destroying our 6/4, which makes perfect sense.
But now they have no cards in hand.
Correct. And they're about to take 4 damage, right? Because we have 8 lands on the field, which means we can play this no question.
At all.
Correct. And no cards in hand. So they go to 2, which means unless they can create 3 blockers, on board they're dead, let alone now that we have a 3/4 as well. So they are definitely in a tough spot. I don't know of a card that they could draw that they could use. They drew a land, so we win. We also drew a land, but they said good game. I will absolutely... I was going to say I'll also say good game, but I didn't get a chance. But still, we won.
Yay.
All that made sense?
I wouldn't say all of it.
Okay.
But a decent enough amount made sense.
Good. Look what we got.
Yeah.
Kasmina, who says, so many lives lost, so much potential wasted. The dragon's selfishness will cost the multiverse dearly. Let's claim our prize. Also, I didn't read this. I read these last time, and I didn't read it this time. I'm not doing a very good job of showing off my...
#Worthless Pride.
And I think that'll be a really cool way to close out the video. So, first of all, the mechanical part. Part 2 is Pauper. Bring a deck using only commons, which we did. Persistent Petitioners is banned, which is very important. But it says, as the Dread Horde army advances, planeswalkers from across the blind eternities answer the call for aid. Some come willingly, aware of Nicol Bolas's schemes and what it means for the multiverse if he were to succeed. Others are simply drawn by the inexplicable power of the interplanar beacon. But this is all according to Nicol Bolas's plan. With the immortal sun now on Ravnica, any planeswalker who sets foot on Ravnica find themselves unable to leave. So for now, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. We really, really appreciate it. Please continue to join us on this channel for more fun things. Are you enjoying this format so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will probably almost certainly keep making more of these. Hopefully you will join us for more of them. Please feel free to click our logo or tap our logo when it pops up on the screen. It will allow you to subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a lot. And you will be able to be informed of when these videos come out. So once again, thank you all so very much from the Geek for All YouTube channel. I've been Joe.
And I'm Amy.
And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.